Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us back again, coming back with us, hanging in with us on step one. A lot of little mini steps on step one, preparing you for the journey ahead. We're trying to do the best we can for you so that when you do start this journey, you go through it rather quickly. So, this segment is going to be about knowledge. And I want to explain some things there about knowledge, knowing, understanding, those kind of things, how it works, and how you build it over time, how people learn, human dynamics of learning. So first, if you could imagine on this slide, we showed this circle as being, let's just assume that that's universal knowledge, all the knowledge in the world, in the universe, all the knowledge in the universe. Of all of that knowledge, there is a sliver of information, sliver of knowledge that you know. Some things you just know you know. Here's an example. I know how to brush my teeth. I know how to tie my shoes. I know that. I know how to work with leaders who are emerging or leaders who are at a pivot point. I know that. So those are the kind of things that you can think about those because that's what you're bringing to the table. Now, there's another segment of knowledge that you don't know. So like as an example, I'm a golfer and I don't know how to automatically curve the ball when I hit it, going from left to right or right to left, whenever the shot calls for it. I know I don't know how to do that. So is it important to me? Well, if I'm playing golf and I'd like to get better, that's something I might want to learn. If I don't want to get better, if I just want to play casually, I know I don't know it, but who cares, right? So you're going to find some things in that bucket as well, but aim that now towards your leadership. What is it that you don't know about leadership that you want to get out of this program? Because remember, you're not only going to be working this program on the videos that we're looking through now, but there are going to be some webcasts for you to be able to solicit some information from other people. We have a whole network set up where you can ask us questions and we can give you feedback. You want to really leverage this program to the best of your potential so that you fulfill your potential. Okay, let's get back to the diagram. The third thing is, and you can see this is the vast reservoir of what's out there is, these are things you know, these are things you don't even know you don't know. Now here's what's interesting. Some of the things you know, you may not have the whole picture. So let me give you a couple of examples here. Not too long ago, maybe 100 years ago, doctors used to bleed people when they were ill. Used to bleed them. They thought that they could take the poison out of their system by bleeding them. They didn't realize that they were draining them. Right? 1492. People thought the world was flat. They knew the world was flat. You go out there, you go sail in that ocean, you're going off the deep end. Until Columbus obviously proved that the world isn't flat, it's round. So this happens over and over and over again. Conventional wisdom tends to get in the way. So conventional wisdom is what people talk about with absolute certainty as though they know. And maybe at that moment in time they do. But over time it may change because there may be some new discoveries that are out there. So this is about being open to those as well. So okay, so what are you going to do with this? Let me show you this model. This is something that came from Carl Jung primarily. I'm going to give him credit for it. Did he use the exact words? Maybe, maybe not. But it's close enough. So when you think about it this way, the first step is there are some things that perhaps about your leadership that you don't know. You could tell me what that is. It may be motivating people, how to identify people's motivation, just as an example, so you could play to it. You don't know it, but you have a reason to want to know that, especially if you're going to be a leader, because you've got to get people to follow you. You have to build a followership, one of my clients said, right? Followership. You don't know it. The next step up is when you start to learn about it and how things are done, when you first start anything new, think about it, it's very mechanical. So I used an example of playing golf. If you haven't played golf for a while and you don't know about golf and now you want to get out and learn about golf, well, you have to learn the mechanics first. The mechanics. You can't watch a video, buy a set of clubs, go out on the golf course, and shoot par the very first time you play. Ain't gonna happen, right? So what you need to do instead is get some instruction and be very mechanical about it. That's what we're asking you to do as you go through this program for the very first time. Go through it mechanically. Because what happens is after you go through it mechanically, you're building muscle memory. And muscle memory in sports is that your body knows what to do. Well, you're building muscle memory in your mind now too, so you'll know how to approach problems. So then what happens is you move from unconscious competence or conscious competence to um, conscious incompetence. You know you don't know how to do it, but you're going to work through it. Conscious competent, so you can be consciously competent at doing it mechanically, to unconsciously competent. You don't have to think about it, you can just do it. That's what's going to happen to you with this program after you go through it a few times. You're going to be able to apply this to a lot of pieces of your life. Here's what else is going to happen to you. There's the highest step, according to Jung. And Jung, by the way, was the father of the behavior sciences. So that when I use Carl Jung, that's who I'm referring to now. I'm trying to take, like, who's the man, right? Who did the seminal work on all this stuff we're working with today? Carl Jung. So he said that at some point you could be consciously, unconsciously competent. That means consciously you'll know you can perform in an area. And when you go in, you don't have to plan for it, you're just going to react to it. So from the physical world, let me give you an example. Michael Jordan, when he played basketball. When he went up for a layup, he never knew what move he was going to use in order to be able to score. The other one, basketball player who I used to follow a lot was Dr. J. He had some moves that were like, no one had ever seen them, ever. He created it and while he was hanging in the air. That's being conscious, unconscious competence. And that's the area that if you could ever get there, it's very hard to get there. You don't have many people get there, but those are the masters in almost anything, almost any area of life. Those are the people who walk on holy ground. So that might be one of your aspirations over time. But right now, we need you to start by being mechanical. So we're going to move on now, because now we want to start to put all of this together to have you come up with that area of focus. So we'll be talking about that on the very next module. This is Myron Radio, over and out.